Hi guys, it's Mrs. Hutchins. I miss you guys so much and I can't wait to see you back in a couple of weeks. Here is our first video on telling time, and this is just a review because before we left we talked a lot about how to tell time, the hour hand and the minute hand, but I'm going to do a review before we get started on our other lessons. So I have my big clock with me. Remember, the short hand is the hour hand and the long one, this blue one, is the minute hand. So right now the time is 3 o'clock. As I move the minute hand, remember that hour hand moves ever so slightly. So by the time when I get to 3:15, you can see that the little hour hand has moved some. And then by the time I get to 3:30, the hour hand is exactly halfway between 3 and 4. And that's because when you're at 3:30, you are halfway between 3 and 4 o'clock. And then as I move my minute hand closer to the next hour, you can see that the hour hand gets closer to 4 o'clock. So I'm gonna keep moving the minute hand until I get to 4 o'clock, and now the hour hand is exactly on the 4. Just as a reminder, this is where it gets a little tricky if you're reading the time, because it kind of looks like this hour hand is exactly or very close to the 4. So one of the common mistakes that we see is that someone will say this is 4:50, but it's not 4:50, it's 3:50. And the reason it looks so much like it's on the 4 is because it is very close to 4 o'clock. It's only 10 minutes until 4 o'clock. So we're really close to 4, but we want to make sure that we don't say this is 4:50. It's 3:50, and we're 10 minutes till 4 o'clock. So that's where we get a little tricky, is when we get closest to the next hour. So just remember to watch out for that. And then last thing I wanted to remind you guys is the quarters and the halves of an hour. We have 1/4. We have half past, and then we have 3/4, but we don't say 3/4 past. We would call that 1/4 till. So right now, it's exactly 4 o'clock. When we move our minute hand to 15, remember that's 1/4. So we would say that that is 1/4 past 4, or a quarter past 4. Then when we move our minute hand to the half hour, that's 4:30 or half past 4. Then when we move our minute hand to 45 minutes, we're now at 4:45. Now you could say, technically, 3/4 past 4, or most commonly you'll hear 1/4 till 5, because you are only 1/4 away from 5 o'clock. And as a reminder, I'm going to draw you a little visual. Here is your clock. That's a circle. We cut it in half, and then we cut it into fourths. And remember, 1/4, or anytime you talk about quarters, you're talking about 1/4. So if I were to shade this part of the clock, that's 1/4. So that's why when your minute hand is on 15, you have gone 1/4 past the hour. Then when you shade another quarter, that's equal to 1/2. So when your minute hand is pointing to the half hour or the 6, you are half past that particular hour. Then you shade another quarter, so that's 1, 2, 3/4 past the hour. But again, we most commonly call that 1/4. So here we have 1/4 until we get to that next hour. And that's it for our review of telling time. The next video I'm going to post is going to be addition and subtraction of time intervals. Thank you, and I'll see y'all soon.